Just, I think it have started. Yep. So you can share your screen, SN, and please proceed. Thank you. I'm muting myself now.
Yeah. Just let me know when you can see my screen and then can start.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Please proceed.
Okay, so basically, this session is organized by the Pakistan User Group for the Dynamic 365 Customer Engagement Training. And as per the part of the previous session, we have just defined that how the trial instance can be set up and how can we can start with at least we can start with the customer engagement set up in the system so that we can move forward with it. So moving forward with the session and the things, the topics around this session is around the D365 standard CRM configuration. So the subcomponents of this session is the personal and advanced setting, the chart, dashboard, and reports creation in D365, the relevance search and advanced point, security rules, and the auditing setting. So this is not all over the CRM, but it's something around that's important. And as a part of our beginning and structural configuration in the system, we need to go with these things in order to move forward with the customization further. So if I go with my introduction, so my name is Hassan Siddiqui. I'm working as D365 functional consultant in Magic Global, is the Microsoft Gold partner. So you can connect with me via LinkedIn as well, and my company portfolio is over there as well in order to have any query or session around things further after the session. So basically, I have 5+ years of experience in multiple domains like the software testing, requirement gathering, system analysis and design, and D365 CE consultancy right now. So I'm eager to learn new technologies such as MS technology stack and integration with a third-party vendor. So for that, I'm not aware of too much, but yeah, I need to go with this now. That's my next target is. And the things which interest me the most around the career is something personal, but it's around the career counseling, mentoring, new resources, and public speaking, which we are doing right now. So now moving to the next slide. So basically, the topic for today's session is Microsoft D365 CE standard configuration. So the very first question, which usually people start with, what is D365 CE standard configuration? But before what is, I'm always preferring why it is MS365 CE standard configuration required. Like why is more important than what? So for me, the purpose of Microsoft Dynamics 365 CE standard configuration is to minimize the customization and coding effort to make a business more successful in a simpler and quicker way. Basically, Microsoft is targeting to make things configurable in the system in order to minimize the coding effort in the future as much as possible. That will make this business more simpler and successful in a quicker way of time, because time is equals to money. In order to save the time and money, you need to make the things configurable so that it will be easier at the user end to make it done without any specialization. Correct? Okay. So moving forward with the next question, that what is MS365 CE standard configuration? So basically, Microsoft provides us the standard configuration that involve making changes to the system, either it is a small or big, to fulfill the business need in a simpler way. In order to have some configuration, we can create fields, forms, views, create security rules, dashboard, personal and advanced settings, and the report generation, the most of it, to make the system configure as per your need. It can be done over the user level, the team level, or the business unit level, or the organization worldwide, based on whatever the requirement is. Can you guys mute yourself, please?
Yeah.
If there is no question, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. SN, please proceed.
No problem. Okay. Now the very first part of C standard configuration agenda is the personal and advanced setting. So let me just brief you with the personal and advanced. And what is personalized setting? So basically, Microsoft provide two types of setting in the system. The first one is a personalized setting that can be done for the specific user on the, it's not on the basically the organization level, it's on the system level. Like I can configure my personalized setting for the workspace to suit your work and preference by changing paginations and so that they can display the information as per your need, where you need it. The personalized changes may involve making changes to the pagination, the time zone, the area, or any other things like that, which will go with the demo as well. But the advanced setting will include the changes in the configuration settings where you need to make it implement for a group of people like your team, your business unit, or for your the overall organization. So that's a basic change between the two personalized setting and the advanced setting. So if I'll go with the personalized and advanced setting demo, just let me share a trial instance where we have created. So if you go with the last session by Amna Khan, then where she just mentioned each and every configuration that needs to be done on the trial instance to get this app on your trial instance. So you can select any one of it, and all of them are configurable in D365. So I'm selecting the field service one just on my wish. So, okay. So in order to have my personalized setting, there's an option over the right over here beside my name where you can move to the setting where it is showing you that you can set up your personal and option and where view your privacy statement. So if I click on that, there is an option that personalized setting. You need to click over there. It will show you multiple tabs with multiple options where you can set up these things. All of these changes will ultimately impact within your system, not within your organization. So if there is any change in this system in the configuration over the personalized setting, then it will be impacting at your screen but not at your colleague's screen. So as you can see, by default I can see 50 records per page in my system. So I can just move it to my, if I need it to be 25, 75, 100, 250, then I can just make it at my personal view. So it will be my personal view to show the number of records on my screen at a time. But it will be ultimately the by default CRM is providing 50 records to be viewed in the organization at a time for each and every entity. So I can set up these things based on my priority. If I need to see more records, it's totally based upon my job. For example, if I'm a I'm an ACT technician and I need to work with 25 orders per day, then I guess the 50 is basically a good value for me. But if I'm something of a quality assurance and checker and I need to go with around 100 plus of orders on the daily basis, then 50 is something I need to go with the pagination at least on the regular basis. So I can set a pace to 20, 250 or 100, and then I can see 250 records, 100 record, whatever has been set over here in a single shot. So that is something the records per page is. Okay, the advanced mind mode is basically simpler. So there are two types of advanced mind mode. If you can click simpler one, then it will go with the simpler one. And if you go with the detailed one, it will show you the details, fields and description of any entity when you go with the advanced set. So when I move with the advanced mind, I will just describe it as well. But for your personalized setting, you can set up over here. By default, the system is configured with the simpler one. Okay. And there are other things like you can fax and filter. You can, okay. So it's not allow me to go with this option, this trial instance. Let me check. Okay, let me just reload it and move back to my personalized setting again. Okay. I can set up the currency. For example, I'm working from Pakistan over here, and my colleague, anybody is working from India or from any other country, then obviously there is a change in the currency. So we can set up the personalized currency based on whatever has been executing in our country. And then if any record has been created in euros, for example, as any invoice has been created in euros, and I've set up my currency to be to be in PKR, that's Pakistani currency, then ultimately the system can give me the converted result based on whatever has been set up. So that time zone can also be changed. For example, I'm over here in Pakistan, but I need to work with my UK people. For example, just for the example purpose, then I can set up my time zone from here that like whatever the time zone is, I can just select any time zone and it will convert all of my records creation date time, modification date time, and any other date time that's in the system based on whatever time zone has been selected over here. For example, I'm selecting this one. Okay. And this is just the enable high contrast just for the text purpose, just for the ISA purpose, where some people go with the high contrast, some people go with the low contrast. So it's totally like whatever it has been set up, and it's like the way it's provided in the mobile settings usually, where you can change your text, you can go with the high contrast or low contrast or whatever is needed based on what you prefer to visible. Uh, the same way we have different option over here, the synchronization, which it's not too much, but it's around the Outlook synchronization. If there is an email sending purpose that's been used in your job, then you can set up your Outlook with your D365 account, and then if any email can be generated online or offline, then you can obviously set up the things from here where you need to set up your filter. So it will ultimately send the emails based on whatever it's been set up, either it is online, either it is offline. So it's basically the filtration thing that can be covered as a part of separate topic. But yeah, you can set up these things. The activities is around basically your calendar. So you can set up your calendar either basis on the availability time, like I'm setting it up from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm available on the daily basis. Then it will be ultimately showing my calendar to you guys that SN works from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pakistan time, or whatever has been selected in my region or zone in the previous tab. So it will make my availability on the calendar to you guys, my working hours. If I go to the format, then it will just if I go to the format, then it will just provide me the personal standard and format. So it shows that how we need to display the number, the currency, time, and date format that's been followed in a country. For example, so in somewhere the date has been followed as DDMMYY, but in some countries usually the date time forward is MMDDYY, and in some countries we have shared YYDDMM. So it's basically totally up to you when you just select any option from your here. For example, I'm saying that I am working in my UK time zone. No, it's not the US one. So I need to select someone over here. For example, okay, just go with the Malaysia time zone. So as soon as I select Malaysia over here, so by default, the number format that's been followed in Malaysia, the currency format, the time format, the date format, and the long date format, which is followed in Malaysia, it's ultimately populated over here. And as soon as I just save, it will impact all of the records and the date time. It will not update the record, but it will show me the date time as per Malaysian zone. So let's go with the US one. Okay. Email template is something if I need to configure any email template for myself, for example, it's a part of my daily job to select and to configure an email. Like I'm clicking over new over here. So there are multiple options where we can select. Just go with the global one right now. So I can create my email template, like my email template name is invoice generation, for example, or I can say File invoice generation, and then what will be the subject is, so the subject is trial invoice generation for the client, and I can make it configure like, hi, please find the attached invoice for your order. And this is something I can configure it one time in my system for my personalized setting, and then I can just send it anytime using the same template to my clients. I'm saying that regards, it's sticky. So as soon as I just set up these things and just save and close. So this template over here is saved, and I can use this template anytime in order to send in order to use this format to send any email to the person. So I need to just enter the email address of the recipient, and then I can click on send button to use the same email address again, to use the same email format again and again. And I need to attach the PDF invoice for that user or the Excel one, whatever it is. So this is something you can configure in the system. Your email signature, if you can, if for example I've used my name Siddiqui, so usually in the organization, what the organization is following in a standard email signature. So you can create any particular email signature over here, and ultimately when you are using the same email signature in the email template, it will ultimately make the signature in the last after the regards. So I'm not setting up this thing because it's too detailed in order to just fetch all things on the same page in 1.5 hours. But yeah, in case of any query around these things, you can connect me with me separately. I'll share my number as well, and then we can have a walkthrough if there is any query or any ambiguity around the things. The email is the same thing that you can allow the user to Microsoft to send the email on your behalf. Like there are two things. That Microsoft provided. Either you can send the email via your personal email through which you have been logged in, or either send it via Microsoft 365 system user. That's basically whenever a trial instance has been configured in the system, a system user has been configured with any email template that you can set. Like you are saying that example at the rate xyz.com, and you are saying that I do not want to reveal my personal email to anybody to whom I'm sending my invoice or any other information. Instead, I want to use this email address, for example, it.alert.com. Then you can use that email. If I'm sending the email on behalf of my IT team, I can use any particular email in order to send any email address. So for that, I need to check this one, and then I need to provide the email address information around the things. And finally, the languages where you can change the language. So D365 provide multiple languages in the system, but on the trial instance, I guess it's the basic language to provide to go with the English. But if you go with a paid license thing, then you can obviously change your languages in the system, and then you can move forward with the preferred language that has been followed in different countries. But usually the standard language for the business is English. So that's why the Microsoft provide English language as the basic and base language for the system. So that's what the personalized setting is. Now, if I go with the advanced, uh, just if I go with the advanced setting now, so there are multiple options over here in the advanced settings. So I cannot cover each and everything obviously in the same time, but yeah, we can go high level. So there are multiple things like you can configure the templates, like we have configured the email templates. In the same way, you can configure your document template where it will be on the Word. You can configure any Excel template for sending anything. So whatever has been required as per the business, you can configure different things over here. But whatever has been done on on the advanced setting level, it will be for the organization, not for the particular person. So anything that will be provided over here or that will be configured in the advanced setting will be available for the user based on what privilege they have as per their security role. That will be covered at the end of the session. uh, if I go high level, you can the most important thing that we can configure in the system are the templates. That's basically the email templates, document template, and the Excel templates. If we can go with that, the customization that will be covered in a while to make the to make the system configured. The solution is if any it's for the technical purpose where any deployment has been done. You can always go for the history, like when and at what time the deployment has been done. You can go with the trace log where in case of any ISV error or any technical error, it will ultimately log that error in the system, so that it will help the it will usually help the team to identify the issue that the user encountered, because once you gone through with that screen, you cannot find that record. So you can obviously go with the plug and place log to have the things on your screen. The solutions will maintain, there's something technical like the D365 provide you a standard solution around thing, but when you go with the customization, you need to create your separate solution, and then you can move forward with the things as per your solution. You can maintain your solutions over here, and the version on the basis of version basically. Your data management will provide you the information around the import and export. So whenever the out of the box import or export has been worked with, you can go with the data management thing where you can find the history of the imports. You can go with the import option that's with that, and you can go with the export of entity based on the columns and fields that's been required. So that is something. The email configuration that we have just done for the personalized setting, you can also done it for the organization level. So if you done the email configuration from here, you can go with it, and then you can share with it over the organization level with the other user as well. For example, I'm the IT team and I'm configuring any email for the ACT technician purpose or for the person who are going to generate the orders. Then I can create the email configuration from here, and then the same email configuration can be shared on the organization level for all the users that are using the same job. Okay, in the processes you can configure the workflows. Basically, I'm not sure you if you guys have the idea of the workflow or not, but the workflow is something. If you need to trigger anything based on the condition, so you can set up your condition. For example, if I'm getting yes in this field, then I need to go with this process. If I'm getting no with this field, I need to go with the other process. Then you can configure your workflow, and based on the value that you are getting on the field, you can execute any workflow that will ultimately give you an outcome. So these are the settings that we can go on through with, but obviously that requires something, practice in order to get each and every bit of the CRM. It's a lengthy one. So we are just going with the high level just for the beginning purpose in order to start with it. If you go to the apps, you can see all the applications that's been provided by Microsoft in the default solution. That's field services, marketing, HR, and other applications that you can search for. But in order to, you just need to configure any customized application for as per your business needs. For example, I'm working for an organization and they are saying that like they need to create any application for the IT team, and none of the Microsoft application is fit for their business, then I can obviously configure any particular application for the IT team where they can access the things as per their need. So we need to configure apps, we can configure feeds, forms, views, whatever has been required, and that can be done easily without any custom config, without any custom effort, or without any coding in the system. So up till now, if there is any question for the very first part that we have covered in the presentation, so you guys can please ask, else I'll move with the next one. Silence is acceptance.
Yeah, I think Hisham has raised his hand. Please, Hisham, please proceed.
Yes, yes, please, what is click dimension? Is it add-ons or it's already deployed with D365
Yeah.
CE? There is
Okay.
on the left-hand side, in the beginning, there is click dimension. What is this click dimension?
I can't see
After
that on the
extension,
left side,
after extension, right-hand side.
right hand
After
side,
extension,
after
you will find out click dimension. What is this click dimensions? Is it standard or it's add-ons or third party? And what is the main functionality for it?
I'm not too much aware of this thing, but basically what I can see is around the basic some new options that Microsoft has been introduced. So it's been set up that like
I
And the
think
web client
if I can
experience, what
answer that,
it can,
sorry, Hassan. Yeah, if I
yeah.
can, yeah. Hisham, that's a valid question, and obviously this will be covered in our future session. Click dimension is just like marketing, D365 marketing that we have. It is a tool or an extension add-on that you just mentioned. It's an add-on for marketing cases like customer journeys, and we will cover that soon, like with the session progress. So we will cover Microsoft Dynamics marketing as well. So it's pretty much the same.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Atif.
Mm, thank you.
Okay,
So anyone else who need to raise anything? Okay, now move forward with the second part. So the second part is basically the relevant search and the advanced find. So the relevant search is something to search any record on the UCI interface across the entity. So for example, it's just like that. We are searching anything in the Windows. If we go to to my computer and then we go and search for any file, I'm not aware of where this file has been kept. So I can search for the file name and it will ultimately show me all the records with such file name. So it's similar in D365. For example, I just search for Hassan Siddiqui, and if there is any account, any contact, or any other information around this service name Hassan Siddiqui, then it will show me the combination of the result across the entities. And if I go to the advanced point, then I can search it for the particular area, particular entities based on filter, views, columns, and properties. And I can also group it with the related entities as well. So if I go to the demo, let me just go there. And let me just copy something from the service. Yeah, we have multiple records for this name. So let me just search for this one. So now, this is the relevant search which can be done around across the entities. So if I search for these words like Alamo Group Inc., then it will show me the combination of the result that counts. So basically, we have accounts with these names. We are different accounts has been set up within the same organization. We have contacts as well, where there are different people within the same organization that have the contacts, and we can show more. So now it is showing you that within this organization, there are 2025 accounts that have been shared. So you can find for it. You have 580 records of contact. You have 10,046 leads for that. You have 22 cases and you have two different opportunities within this service account that you have searched for. And it's not about the service account. You can search anything, like you can search any work order number or anything. So if there is any related record across the entities, it will go over for it. So let me just search for the work order number if we can go with the easier one. So let me check. So it will show you that this work order number is associated with such number of records. Like it's showing that in 13 cases, we have associated with this work order, and we have 4 leads around this record that's been associated with. So you can search around the entities if you have any idea of what you need to search. Like when you are not sure in which entity your record has been, then you can search for it in the relevant search. But if you are sure, like for example, I know that I need to work on the work order and I need to fetch this one from the list of thousands of records, then I need to go with the advanced filter. That's on the top. That's one fine. considering that I have thousands or lakhs of work orders in the system, and I need to find the particular one. So in the advancement, what I can do, I can go to that entity. The entity name is there. It's work order, and the by default view is active work orders, and I need to select a specific one. So what I can do, I can just check for a new filter, and I need to search it, for example, based on the work order number, the work order type. Just let me search for the work order number. Uh, I guess the work order number is not configured for the searching criteria, so I'm just copying the work order type. And if I go to the advanced find again, and I'm saying that I need to search all the records that contains. Just give me a moment, guys. I need to delete this one. Just give me a moment. That. Okay, let me give you two different examples. For example, I need to search for my inactive work orders. I just click on this inactive work orders view and I just click on results. So if there is any inactive work order, I can see it on my screen over here. So there are no inactive, there's no inactive record. Let me just inactive one. So just check. Do I have the access to inactive this record? I guess no. Okay, I cannot make this inactive. Okay. And if I just click on new, and I'm saying that I'm searching based on my work order type, work order. Okay, so basically it's saying that the relationship already exists and these fields are not available for the searching purpose. So I can search it from here as well if I can edit my columns. So I can change the things from here. Like if I need to search which cases this work order belongs to, I can select the fields from here. The different fields that's been associated with the same record, I can select it from here. For example, I'm saying that it's the work order type. I need to show, I need to check with the total amount. I need to check with the status reason, and I need to check with the price list. I need to check the owner as well. So, and case. So when I just click OK, and then yeah, over here, if I go with the results, it will show me all the fields that I've added. For example, I've added the case. So this, though none of the work order has been associated with the case, I can see the owner's name. I can see the price list. I can see the status reason. I can see the total amount and the work order type. So in my default view, you can see that now none of these fields were available that I've just added. So in order to have some additional information around the things which you can see on your list view, you can always go with your advanced point. You can go to the advanced point, just go select your entity, just edit your columns. It will allow you to add your columns as per your need. Just click on add columns. All the fields on your entity will be available over here. You can select the required fields. You can, based on your need, you can move it left, right. For example, I need to check the stated reason very first, so I can move the stated reason to the first position and then the work order number, for example, and then I need the total amount as well. That's something important for me right now. What's the total amount is, so that I can just sort this out and I can click on result. So it will show you the list as per what you have been sorted. Like you can see that the status reason is now being moved to the first option, and then the total amount, the work order number, and then you can move forward with your advanced find. So if you need to search for anything particular to your order that's been not available on your default view, you can always go with your advanced find. Okay. And you can open your record from here as well. Like, for example, I was searching for the record that's been ordered for $100, and I got it right now over here. I can just click on this. And it can be open in a separate screen. So that's what's the advantage of the advanced find is. Okay, so do anyone have any question around this advanced find or relevance find thing? Or we can move with the third one.
I think we can proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving forward with the third one. So the third one is basically to configure any chart, dashboard, or report in the system. So D365 usually provide us the very important part when anybody is logged in is the dashboard, and it's the user preference to always go with such dashboard they usually going to deal with. So in the D365 chart, C provides the chart view configuration for the records you want to have a graph view for that. So there are different graphs available which can be selected as a chart, and you can see that things in the chart view when you want any record for that. And the dashboard is commonly includes the most common data user prefer to deal with on daily basis. That's what the assumption is for the dashboard. In D365, you can configure the dashboard as per the need without any custom effort. So you can always configure your dashboard as per your need. For example, I usually deal with the work orders, but any other person in my organization usually deal with the accounts. His job is to usually maintain the accounts and contacts in the system, but my job is to maintain the work orders. And obviously my dashboard and his dashboard could not be same. So I can configure the dashboard based on my requirement. Like I need to deal with the work order, so I can have all the views or the needs and the fields of the work orders on my dashboard, and at the same time the another dashboard can be configured for the accounts and context view for my colleague. So basically reports is something around, there are some entities where we need to generate the reports. The most common example is invoice, where the reports are very important, or the daily summary where we are extracting any record from the system. So we can manually set up the things in the system to generate the reports for any entity. So let me just go with that. Mm, If I go to the advanced setting, let me just close this one, and I go to the customization. I need to open my solution. So since I'm working on the trial instance, I'm just assuming that there is no additional solution over here, and I'm working on the same solution which is defaulted. So if I can search for, just press Control F and search for dashboard. So I can click on dashboard. So there are multiple dashboard that's been configured in the system by default, or some has been configured by for the trial purpose. So let me just create a new dashboard for the user. Now there are multiple views of the dashboard that can be seen, like as per your need, which columns and which graph do you need based on whatever the record has been required, and how much record do you need to see on your dashboard. So I'm selecting this one and just clicking on create. So the selected format can be seen on the over here on my screen. So I'm just giving this dashboard on trial dashboard code for training purpose, for example, and I'm selecting the first one. So for example, I need to search, just click on this one, and I'm saying that I need to edit the components. I guess it get hang. Just bear with me, guys, with a minute. It's pretty slow. Let me try with the reload. So for example, the first one, as you can see, we have different option over here. I can add chart, I can add list, I can add web resource, timeline, iframe, assistant, whatever that I needs to be added in different section. The same logo, the same icon has been used over here, so you can directly select in which section you need to add anything. For example, I'm selected at to the very first section. I need to go with my chart. That is the first part of this thing. And I'm saying that I need to view the chart for the accounts. And it's not the active account. I just need to check the inactive account so that because I need to deal with the work order. So if there is any inactive account at the same and the order is placed for that inactive account, then I need to uh, call out this thing or whatever is needed. And let me just add this one. So now this view has been added as per the need. And now if I'm saying that I need, now the chart has been done, I need to check with the list. For example, I'm saying that I need to check the work order list. So I can search for that work orders. And I'm saying that, yeah, I need to check the active work orders. Since there are different views in the system, so you can select like I need to check with the active one, the inactive one, or whatever has been done. Or you can create your separate view before creating your dashboard. Like I've created today's work order view, so I need to create my today's work order view first, and then I can select it over here. So whenever I just log in, it can show me my today's work. So for the runtime, I can select active one. Okay, and it will show me all the fields that are by default added in the active work order view. And let me just add another one. And I'm saying that, yeah, I need to check my inactive work orders too. Yeah, just show me my inactive work orders too. And now the timeline thing, I need to go with the timeline. So this is my timeline. Yeah, over here. I'm saying that, yeah, just add a timeline over here so that if I need to attach anything, I can attach it over my dashboard level and I can see that. So I'm adding a timeline as well. And I'm just saying, yeah, it's added. So the timeline is added in the last, and I can use any iframe. Yeah. So I need to go with the assistance one. The assistant will be shown here. So yeah, let's keep it as is. So I'm saying that, yeah, it's one column, 4 rows as a page, and just click OK. So if there's any assistance over here, just clicking on save. Structured file is curved. Okay. If I can remove this section. Let's go with this one right now. If it allow me to save. Yeah, it's been saved. Now it's not about just to configure the dashboard. We need to select the app where we are just showing this dashboard. So since I'm using the field service app, so I need to go with the mobile driven apps where all the application within D365 was shown. I'm selecting my field service app. Opening it. So by double click, I just open it, and in the dashboard section, I should be able to see my dashboard, this one which I've created, and I can remove the rest of the dashboard. In order to see more than one, I can select it from here. And if I want to check for this one, I can select this one. Just click save. And then publish. Now, if I go back to my screen and click on dashboard, I need to perform a hard refresh to have my changes on my screen at runtime. Then I need to publish this thing as well. Where's my dashboard is? I need to publish my dashboard as well. So each and every change in your solution needs to be published before it can be reflected on your screen. So if I go this one and I'm saying that, yeah, I'm publishing it as well. Let me just check with the retry. Still not appear. Let me just check with my app now. This has been not published successfully. Let me check. Yes, there are two dashboards over here that I've, but it's not the one that I've created just now. I guess that's because it's a publishing issue right now that I'm facing on my screen, but I can see two different things. I can try it once more. Just let me try it once more. So it's published now. I guess it's an internet issue, so that it's taking time to get published. But the dashboard that we have created, the trial dashboard for training purpose underscore 001 has been created. So I can see what is the count for the inactive accounts. Like we have total, how much accounts are there in the industry, and the total is blank. And then we can move forward with the active work orders. I can see the list of active work orders over here directly on my dashboard, then the inactive one, and finally the timeline that's been created for myself, that I can check each and everything based on whatever has been posted from me or for me in the timeline. I can see it over here. So that's the way. In that way, there are multiple cases where you can configure the dashboard in different ways based on what's your need is. There are too much things that needs to be covered, but yeah, obviously just the session is just for the trial purpose. So you need to go with the experiencing it, how to done this in the system, so you can search and get more and more. So if there is any question around this thing, so just let me know, else I'll move with the security role thing. That's a major part of this session. I guess we can move forward. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can, Hassan. Yes, you can move forward. There was one question by Hisham, and I think Hisham, unfortunately, we don't have any plan to create a Word document right now, but it's a good suggestion. We will definitely take it up if we can. But for now, what I can suggest you guys is to visit MS Learn and try to explore that area. And I shared a URL there as well, in which they also, like Microsoft, also have designed a step-by-step guide in case if someone is not able to follow up. But I would suggest again, just try to follow up with us and please post your questions in case if you have.
At the end of the session, I will just paste the link as well for the microsoftlearn.com, where you can find all these things step by step. And there is a proper documentation that's been provided by Microsoft for the out of the box configurations, where each and every step is in very detail, and you can find your topics in the search and then move forward with the steps.
Yeah, that would be a good refresher, Hassan. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll paste just after this session. I'll just paste the link in the chat window for you guys.
Okay, you can move ahead, Hassan. Thank you.
Thank you. Why go? Now the security role thing. Security role is basically the most important and the major component in any business. Like you cannot reveal each and everything to each and every person in any organization. Obviously, we have a hierarchy where the things are revealed and hidden as per the need. So each and every organization has its own hierarchy. So you can design different hierarchies based on whatever the organization is and how much the hierarchy is big. Yeah, for the small business and for the huge business, obviously the hierarchy will be different. And like if you go with the banking business, then the bank can be work worldwide, and then it can be world over the country level, then the region and zone areas and branch level. Just this is the most extended example for any security role configuration that can be made, like to make it from user level to the organization level. So we have four different areas where we can divide the configuration of a security role. So the very first one is the organization level. So anything that has been configured for the organization level is for all the people of the part that are the part of the organization. Moving down from the organization, Microsoft provides the business unit level, where you can configure different business unit that can divide your organization into one, two, or multiple business units, so that you can use your business unit to secure or to reveal your data as per your need. Then there is a team level security that can be implemented, where the teams can see their data but cannot see the data of their business unit or of their organization. And finally, there is a user level thing, where only the particular user who has the right to see that record can be seen. For example, your personalized setting. So Microsoft will only provide the personalized setting to be set up on the user level, because no one can see your personalized setting that something uh, makes sense. So it's some of the things are designed needs to be designed on the organization level. Some things needs to be designed on the business unit level. So the most common example that I can give right now over here, if I can add something just for the understanding purpose. So for example, if I go with any software house business that is working on the multinational level. So I'll go like the head office can be the organization, can be defined at the organization level, and the head office has 4 different branches. So you can set up branch 1 for business unit 1, branch 2 for business unit 2, branch 3 for business unit 3, and branch 4 for business unit 4. Now your head office has been divided into 4 different branches and into 4 different business units. Now each business unit is a separate office in different country. For example, BU1 is Pakistan office, BU2 is Indian office, BU3 is the US office, and BU4 is the UK office. So obviously in Pakistan office, there are different teams. So you can divide your BU1 with team level like team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4, and goes on. So for example, team 1 is the IT team, team 2 is the technical team, team 4 is the testing team, and team 4 is the function team. The same way we have the administration team, also goes on. So it's totally up to you that how the hierarchy you needs to follow and which hierarchy needs to be followed in your organization. So you can obviously configure the things based on your requirement. It's always about the requirement, what the requirement is. And if I go to the user level thing, for example, I'm saying that the person who has been assigned any work order to perform that operation, that can be seen to that particular user only. So I need to go this one. For example, there is a work order 1 that can only be seen to Asan, and there's a work order 2 that should be operation by Sam. Okay, and there's a work order 3 that can be that should be operation by John. So I can assign the work order thing on the user level, so that if I'm assigning any record to any particular person, then he should be only able to see that record and to perform the operations over there. So it's just for the example, but it's a complex thing. And obviously what I prefer, security role is a separate part, and it's an important part be that should be handled in a separate session. So we'll go with some high level business understanding, and then if there's any question and query in details, then you guys can reach me out via my email or LinkedIn. Then we can have a one-to-one query session or something around that, or we can plan a combined session as well if it's needed. But yeah, it's an important factor. The most addition to it, you can handle app level access, which is a major part in any ERP within the organization. So basically, Microsoft is always go with the ERP system for the huge businesses. So like I can see, if I go to the demo now, and let me go back. So if I click on this field service app, I can see all the apps within my organization. But yeah, I have nothing to do with my sales team. I have nothing to do with my health hub team. I have nothing to do with my customer care team. So why can I access this? If I can access this, obviously that's a security breach that can be handled via app level security, so that only those apps which I have to work with, that can be seen on my screen when I'm creating any security role. So let me just start with how to configure security role in the system. So we need to go to the advanced settings, because a security role is always for the overall organization. So we need to go there. We need to click on setting and then security. Now in this, if I need to create a security role, I need to go there, security role session. And then there are 2 options in order to create a security role, either to create a new one, or either to copy an existing security role and to amend that. So it's basically up to you. If you have any similar types of roles, then you can create one with the minimum privileges. You can copy that and you can add or remove your privilege. to create a new one. So let me just go with a new one first, and then we can go with the copy one. By the way, Microsoft usually recommend to copy the existing security roles because all of the roles may have different privileges around things that's been provided by Microsoft already. So they usually what they did, they go with the copy role functionality, and they usually ask for the standard practice to revoke or to provide the additional access that's been needed. So for example, I'm saying that I need to create my account manager role who can create the account for the particular user. So it's on the user level, as you can see. The single dot will be the user, the half circle with the business unit, the third quarter will be the parent child business unit, and the fourth one is the organization. So if I am saying that my account manager can create, treat, and update any account on the user level, then if he creates account, only he will be available to see that. So that's the user level security is. If I'm saying that it's on the business unit level, so if my account manager create any record, it can be seen by any of the team in the business unit. For example, it's the business unit two at like the Indian office, and an account manager that have created a role. I have created a record in the team, then that record will be available to the overall business unit. Either it's XYZ or it's ABC, whatever the person is within the same business unit, you can see that record. And if I go to the third one, it's the parent-child business unit. So now if I go to the example, in the parent-child business unit, for example, I'm saying that this is the head office, that's the parent business unit, and this is the second one, this is child business unit. I'm saying that any record that's been created in business unit one should be available to the head office as well. So by default, I need to select the parent-child business unit so that if I'm creating the creation of creating the relation directly from the business unit one to the head office, I can move with this one. Now the organization one will be like that. If I'm creating any record in business unit one and it's on organization level, then it will cover all of my business unit as well and my parent business unit as well. So that is something we need to make sure like how the requirement is and how we need to cater it over the things. That's the way. And if I just click on save and close, then my record has been created with the privilege. Now let's go with a different one. If I copy, because it's the simplest one to provide to create a role with this account manager. If I go to the field service one, that's a complex. For example, I have a security role field service dispatcher. So the job of this person is to dispatch any record on the field service app. So basically, this is something provided out of the box by Microsoft, but I'm saying that I need to perform some additional privileges on any entity that's been not provided by the Microsoft, but it's the need of my business. For example, I am saying that the person who I deal with needs to perform the export to the Excel. So that is something, there are two options. Either I can amend the existing rule, or what the Microsoft recommended is just copy that rule, do not amend the original one. Name it a bit different and click OK. So this was the rule that we have copied from field service dispatcher. So all of the privileges that was provided to the field service dispatcher role has been copied over here. And I'm saying that now I am gonna amend that. Like for my requirement, the field service dispatcher has nothing to do with the account manager. Then I'm just revoking this account.
Sorry, Asad.
Yeah.
There is a question by Hisham. So Hisham, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, excuse me. What is the difference between the colors? It's not clear for me. And the complete cycle or the missing part in cycle. For example, there is one yellow in activity, one yellow cycle, but not completed. Same, we see it in green color. So what is the difference between the colors?
So there is no difference between the color. This is basically a signature that's Microsoft has provided. It's working like a legend. If you can see below, it's saying that when it's a single dot in the overall circle, then it's the user level security that you have provided. When it's half circle, then it's the business unit. When it is the third quarter, then it's the parent child business unit, and for the organization, it's for the overall organization. So there is no difference between colors, just for the legend purpose in order to highlight the things. Either the security privilege is provided over the user level, business unit level, or the parent child business unit level, or the organization level. So it's a
O-
type of legend.
Okay, okay, which is mean if I give someone green color, which is the organization, so every employee in the organization will see this form, correct?
If you provide any entity, the organization level, any record that's been created in that entity can be seen throughout the organization.
Mm, okay, and
like
as well for
like
business
you and
unit,
me,
yeah.
for example, just take an example. You are in the US office and I'm in the Pakistan office, and we are working for the same organization. And if I just configure this account on the organization level like this way, okay, so either you create an account or I can create an account. We both can see each other's record throughout the organization. Even we have offices in 10 different countries. We can see each and every record throughout the countries within the same organization if we
Okay.
are providing it full circle.
Okay, what the difference between append and append to assign share? I know the
Okay.
difference between create and read and write. It's a record level or permission for read only, update, and delete, and so on. But what's the difference between the remaining part, please?
Yeah. So this is something the delete one. That's easily understandable. Like either you are
Yes,
providing the access to
this
your
is the
user to
highest
delete
one,
this
I
record.
think. Highest
Yeah.
permission. Mm.
Yeah.
Append?
Yeah. Yeah. And move forward with append and append to assign and share as well.
Okay, please
Okay.
proceed. Yeah.
So basically, append is something you can create deleted entities in your record. For example, you are saying that in your work order, you can assign work order products as well. For example, there's an order placement. Like just take an example of the medicine. You go to your doctor and in the hospital, they are using the CRM. So they create an order for you in order to provide you the medicines. Your medicines are more than one. Okay. So there is a single order for you, but your medicines are, for example, you are assigned with Panadol as well. You're assigned with Panadol CF, and you're assigned with any medicine like XYZ. So there are three different medicines. Then how you gonna tackle this thing on the CRM level? So obviously you need on the order level, you need to go with a related entity where you can add multiple records. That should be a work order product grid. Exactly, work order medicines, for example. Then, uh, in order to create the relation between the entities, you need to provide the access. Either this entity should be allowed to append or not. Are you getting this?
It's not clear.
Okay. Okay. What if I just share a link with you after this call where some definition has been provided for
Okay.
this thing, and then you can have a
And
look to
please,
that.
your profile, LinkedIn profile on the same Pakistan group on Teams, please.
Yeah, we will be definitely sharing the presentation as well, where I have my LinkedIn contact as well. And I'll be sharing my email address, my personal email address as well, so that whenever you guys have any query, you can ask for me for that. And we can share some links because, in this short amount of time to cover such each and everything in detail is very complex for us. So obviously I can provide you the details. That's why we are here.
Oh,
But
Okay, or I suggest something better, or we can send our questions on the same group for Microsoft Teams on Pakistan user group training, like I sent before to Atif and he replied me. So it's good to be useful for everyone see the questions. But we need to concentrate on this group while we can get feedback and get in touch.
So we definitely do that. Don't
Yeah,
worry for that.
definitely. Yeah,
Okay,
Hisham,
thank you.
that's a valid call. And
Yeah,
just to be sure that security roles is part of it. We do consider this part more into the dev area because it's pretty related, or as SN has also mentioned, that it's a pretty detailed topic. It requires at least 1 to 2 sessions of at least an hour to understand how Microsoft security is working. Right now, it's just an introduction how the securities are managed. So we will be going in much deep in upcoming sessions as well, Hisham.
Okay, thank you, Atif.
yeah. But if you are interested, I have covered the security role as a part of the separate session earlier. So I have that presentation, and I can share that presentation as well. That's in the deep detail where it is showing you each and every bit around the security role that cannot be covered within this
No,
session.
no,
But
it's
yeah,
just
it's
I
a
need to
separate
know
and
the
detailed thing.
yeah, I just need to know the security from the high level only. I'm not interested in the deep level in this point right now, but in the future we can do. But I just need to go to know about the security from the high level only. And thank you.
Sure. So just tag me in the same group after this session, and
Okay,
just make me remind. So I'll just share it not very soon, but yeah, just give me some hours and I'll share a link over here where it will be our high level definition for these all of these options where you can go with that.
thank you very much.
Okay. And since append and append twos are the complex ones, so I'll just share the document and then once you have a look with that, just let me know if you are able to understand. If you are not, then we can have a separate one-to-one call and then I can obviously configure some things in order to display you how the append and append to will work. But the assign and share is simple one. For example, I'm creating a record, so I am the owner of that record. So if a sign has been provided to a sign privilege has been provided to that record, I can assign it to someone else. For example, I have created an account name XYZ, but I can change the owner and I can use your name. Like I can click on assign button on the top that will be only visible when there is a assign privilege on that entity. And I can say that, yeah, I have created this account, but on behalf of XYZ. So I'm assigning this account to that person. Now the owner will be changed. When I created this record, I am the owner, like Hasan Siddiqui. And what's your good name, sir? Hello.
Yeah, it was Hisham, Hassan,
Okay, Hisham.
Hisham.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So if the account entity has been provided with the assign privilege, I can click on the assign button. I can select
Okay.
Hisham and I can just click on save. So now that record that's been created by me is no more longer accessible or the ownership owned by me. Now the owner has been changed to Hisham. But
Yes,
if
good
I
option.
am
Hmm.
providing the share privilege over there, I can create the record. The owner will remain the same as in Siddiqui, but I can share that record with you. Then you can have the same access over there, and you have been notified that this record has been shared with you. So the record will be
Okay.
shared with you, but the owner will remain the same. So there is so basically both the things is just around the sharing, but the only difference is based on the name of the owner. Either we need to change the owner as well, or we need to just share the record between the two.
Okay. Clear enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so for example, this role has been designed and I'm saying that, yeah, I need to change a bit around things like, yeah, view audit history. For example, the dispatcher do not have the access to view the audit history. And I'm saying that no, in my business, I need to view the audit history and the view audit summary. Then I've just updated it. I'll just save it. Just close this one. Okay. Whenever you are creating any security role, you need to go with the apps, and you need to make sure that you have provided the access of your app to your security role, because whenever you are creating your role, by default, your app should not have the access. So if this role has been logged in still, you can see that there is no tick and none of the app has been accessible by the user. So by default, whenever a new role has been created or it's been copied, none of the app has been accessible by that role. So you need to select this one, and I'm clicking on save flag. So whenever this role has been logged in, only the one app that have provided, that is the field service app, is accessible by this user. If I need to show the magic customer care as well, for example, I need to click on the manage roles. I'm saying that no, the role which I've created, my field service dispatcher trial, should have access to the customer care as well. Now he should be able to see the two apps when he logged in. So that's the app level access that we were talking about in the presentation slide. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah. And now another thing which I can explain. You can go with the field level security as well. For example, your account form has 15 fields, but you are saying that you have uh, an account manager and an intern account assistant. So you are saying that on the accounts, there is a field where you are maintaining.
Hassan,
Uh,
sorry, Mashood have a question as well. Mashood, you can
yeah,
mute
Mashood,
unmute yourself,
please.
please.
Yes. So my question is, we can make different forms over the given entity. For example, for the contact entity, we can create some custom forms like patient or, the healthcare provider.
Yeah.
So if we have, given a privileges, can we distribute the privileges on form level as well? Because what if I have given the privileges of create, update and append on the contact entity level, but I don't want that user to access the patient form. So can we do it that way using the security
Yeah.
rules?
Yeah. Let me just show you how you can manage that. Just go
Okay.
to the customization. Just open your entity. For example, you are saying that let it be open. And Mashud, the same thing is for you. I'll share another presentation with you where we have the things around the security role in deep details. You can have an overview of that and you can raise your questions apart from the session as well. Let me just show you this one. Okay. Forms. Now, all the forms of the account are available over here. For example, you are saying that only this form should be visible to my security role. So you can select that one, enable your security role.
And also, please tell that is it both ways? Like, what if I want the user to have only the patient form access, but not the contact entity?
Yeah, so that's the
Role?
same thing. So basically, I have created this role like my dispatcher now only be available. Now, this is the form that I've selected. I'm saying that my field service dispatcher trial role should be available. This form should be available for this role. So I'm selecting this form and I'm saying, yeah, okay, this form should be visible to my particular role. And I'm saying that uh, this one, this one should not be visible to my role. You can't check that. Let me check for another one if we have any. Because the trial instance, we only have one form on the account. But yeah, I can give you the example of the contact. Like I'm saying that. Uh, so you are saying that you can see your account, but you can see not your contact. So just consider it your patient form. that you have given your example. So this is my patient form. I've provided my security role enable for this form, and just consider this one as your generic contact type. Select your form. Enable security role. And revoke the access from your user. So now, even you have provided the privilege on the contact level, your user will not be able to see that form. You just need to
But in
publish now.
order to have access to the patient form, I need to have the access to contact. I cannot go, the other way around.
Yeah.
Or in order to have the patient form privileges, I need to have the contact privileges as well. You're saying, is it possible that
It
I can
depends.
only access patient entity for the form? So
It depends. We are not going for a specific business right now, but it's a trial instance. For example, your contact has been divided into 3 different types: contact type 1, contact type 2, and contact type 3. So obviously you will be having 3 different forms as well, right?
yes.
Yeah. So in this contact entity, this is a default form, that's contact, and you will be creating 3 different contact form 1, contact form 2, and contact form 3 for your patient, for your doctor, for your assistant, whatever it is, as per your business. So you can control your form from here. Like you need to select, either you need to select the default form or not, but you can select the patient one form, the doctor's one form, and the clinician one form, and you can provide the access or revoke the access based on your requirement. So I'm not sure of your business, but this is how the CRM should work. If you have more
Okay.
than one form in the same contact type, in the same account type, based on your
I'll
types that been divided.
and if anything, I'll connect you. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And yeah, we can go with the field level security as well. For example, I'm just saying that, let me just go to account. And I'm saying that on my account form, I have 185 fields, but there are 2 rows. One is the account manager who should have the complete access over the account form. But one is the internal account, and I'm saying that account ID, account number, or any other important detail should not be accessible by that user. So I can particularly lock that field for a specific role or enable that field for a specific role based on what my requirement is. For example, I'm saying that my account intern should not have the access to the fax field because he can update the fax detail. So what I need to do, I need to select my field. I need to enable the field security over there and click save and close. Just copy the field name. Just go to the security. Now creating a new one. Uh, it's for my account intern role. Let's go account entity. Locking the field on account for this role. And click on save. Now go to the fields permission. So by default, on all the fields that's been enabled for field level security, you can see it over here. This is what my field is that I have enabled. So by default, all the access, the read, update, create will be disabled for any field if you enable the field level security. So I'm saying that this field should only be available for the read access, but should not be available for the created update. So when my role that my role or my user, for example, my intern is, for example, this is a user who is an intern. I'm just selecting this one. So this is the intent. Now, when this user try to log in the system, even he has the access to the account, this field address to underscore fax, that's a single index field. This field will be available for the with the read access only to this user. However, when the other rows or the other user will access, it will be available for read, update, and create. But for that, you need to set up this. Like this is my dispatcher role. Just go with my dispatcher team. Just find the same field, this one, and allow the create update as well. So when my dispatcher role will be logged in to access the account, he will be available to create update or to read this field. But when my intern user will be logged in, this field will be only available for the read access. So this is the way to apply the field level security on any particular entity where it is needed. That is something usually done over the fields where there is something sensitive data like the amount field or like the phone number. And you can even log the read as well. For example, I'm saying that I'm the account manager, but I don't want any account assistant to see the phone number of my users of my accounts. So but I can see that. So even I can uh, enable the field level security on the phone number field, and I can take like do not provide the read access, do not provide the create access, and do not provide the update access on that field. Then the asterisk sign will be appear for that particular user of a particular team that you have configured the security profile for. But being an account manager, I'm saying that I have the ability to see that. So I need to configure two profiles, one for my account manager, where that particular field of phone number should have the read access, create access, and update access. And one for all the other account assistant, where I'm saying that they should not have the even read access, update access, and create access for the phone number field. So the static sign will be appear and you can secure your data that cannot be revealed to the user if you don't want to reveal that. Are you getting this one? This is a complex one. Guys, we need to make it hurry. It's 6 p.m. Are
Yeah.
you getting this one or not?
So I
Okay,
think
I share the link as well for the details around these things, and then you can have a look. And if there is any query further, because I know it's complex to just cover this up in 30 or 40 minutes section for this overall security rules. But yeah, you can at least try.
okay, I think let's do a quick time check. We are almost end to the session. But if we still have any question around it, uh, do we have something else to cover as well,
Yeah, we
Hassan?
have the audit history. That's a simple one, so we can quickly cover that in
Okay.
5 to 10 minutes.
If everyone is able to hold up like 10 more minutes, it would be really helpful. So let's try to go through that, Hassan. Yeah.
Okay. So the setting is basically to maintain the history for the transaction in the form of audit in the database. Audit tracking is an important factor in terms of maintaining the track record for any change that has been made anywhere in the system, usually followed by store to change history for the transaction in the form of audit logs in the database. So basically what an audit history is, the audit history is when you are creating, updating, reading, or making any amendment to any record, how can you track like within a team or within an organization, like thousands of people are working. So who changed this record or who make the changes or who create this record? So you can maintain the track record from the audit history, where you can maintain who create or update the record, the date time of the creation and updation, and the previous value and the modified value for the fields. So if I go, but how you gonna enable that? So if I go to the setting and I go to the auditing, first of all, you need to check that the global audit setting should be started for your organization so that it is allowing you to maintain the audit within the organization. Once it's been started, you can go to your solution. You can select your entity, for example, this account one. So by default, uh, when you are creating any entity in the system manually, that's a customized entity, the auditing is disabled because the auditing is something with a huge amount of data and it make the database heavy and it will ultimately cause a performance issue. So it's recommended to maintain the audit history for those fields only that are sensitive and that's required the track record. So I've just made some changes over here, like I'm enabling the auditing. Yeah, I'm saying that this on the account entity, just enable the auditing so that I can maintain that on who have made this record, who have made the changes, at what time the changes have been made. And if I go to the fields of the account, okay, I need to save my changes first. So now I'm saying that my audit history is enabled for the accounts entity. Now you can see that the audit status has been enabled for multiple fields, but since I've just mentioned that it will make your database heavy, so just enable the, for example, if there is any like field, for example, the telephone number, it's sensitive. I need to check if someone is making any changes or amendment to that. So just enable the security for the auditing for your that field and disable it for the other one. By default, when you are creating any field in the system, the auditing is enabled. So whenever you are configuring the fields in the system, try to make sure and identify at the earlier stage, like either you want to enable the auditing over here or not. So any field which has been enabled for the auditing and the entity is enabled for the audit history, it will maintain the audit history at the backend. For example, if I go to the accounts, I can maintain the audit history like this way, that this record has been created by this user, the auditing has been enabled, and there was no field maintenance at that time, so there is no field maintained. But if I enable the audit and I made any amendment to this record, it will maintain that at this date time, SNM Siddiqui change this field from this to this one. The old value was this and the new value was this. So you can easily track the record, the overall record from here, but that is something recommended just for the sensitive field and where it is required. Otherwise, it will cause a performance issue in your system. So if there is anything that you guys need to add, just go with it. If you guys need any query, I know that we have a short amount of time, then we can obviously connect offline after this session. And basically, I can share this presentation as well, where you have the instance to create the trial instance, the same instance that I'm using right now, where you can configure the system. And most of the companies are involved, like Magic Global, Veripack, and System, just to organize these sessions for you guys. And special thanks to the people like Mohammad Atif, Mohammad Mustajib, Faisal Farid, Yumna Asim, Amna Khan, Uruj Kamar. And sorry if I'm just losing anybody in the names, but it's really appreciated to organize such sessions for the people in order to have some information and around things. And the really next session will be on the next Saturday by Mohammad Mustajib. That's around the CRM product management. Thank you guys. If you need to ask anything, you guys can please do. And if it's the detail thing, I know I cannot cover each and everything. We can definitely connect offline, and we can use the same group in order to ask and share the information as well.
Okay, thanks Ahmed thanks Hassan for your time today, and
No problem.
appreciate all your work in designing this presentation and step two. And I agree, yes, this is definitely is now slowly going towards the areas where we need to have deep dives as well. But in case if you guys are not able to catch up like the audience, don't worry about that. We will cover definitely security roles, much more details, and similarly the other areas around team structuring and stuff that are also planned. So hopefully this session was fruitful, just like for me. I think, and thanks again for everyone who joined today. If we have any question, please post it over here. Ahmed, sorry, Ahsan, just a quick favor from you. Just post your LinkedIn profile here meanwhile, and also your the article that you just referred to that you know regarding the MS Learn. If you have, if you don't have, don't worry. Just paste it out when you have time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you guys. If we don't have any question, we can end. I know it's almost 10 minutes above, but I appreciate everyone's time and in joining today's session. We will be looking forward to next session next week that we already announced, and looking forward to meet you guys again. Take care. Bye.